Remakes, remasters, reboots. Lately, every time we turn on our PS5s, they become PS2s. Some of them are incredible, others inedible. The question is, are remakes killing off the gaming industry? Yes, they are. Let's start here. Why do people make remakes? Why do developers make remakes? What's the point of remakes? Well, games, as us, they age. The newer technology comes out and the older technology is left to die. Graphics, controls, tech evolves very fast and furious. Some classics, unfortunately, become unplayable, either because they just aged poorly or they're just outdated at this point. So studios make remakes and remasters to introduce new audiences to the series and to preserve her history and to make a lot of money off of nostalgia, off of millennials and Gen Xers. Very much money. So when it's done right, you get, for example, Resident Evil 2 remake, or Resident Evil 3 remake, or you guessed it, Resident Evil 4 remake. Games that respect the original but feel very new, because they are very refreshed with newer updated mechanics, graphics and audio, all of that. Or on the other hand, you get Final Fantasy VII remake or rebirth or remake intergrade, all of them that introduce basically everything new. Even the narrative is changed. So the upsides to remakes, rebirths, integrades, remake integrades are many. And at first hand, they are the most obvious characteristics of remakes. What they do is they preserve legendary games and they introduce them to a wider audience. Secondly, they can sometimes rehaul the entire game with updated graphics, updated audio, updated mechanics. Everything that Unreal Engine 5 can offer, you get that. And also it introduces classic video games, games that are the best in their genre, to the Fortnite audience. Example, games like Metroid Prime Remastered. Absolutely nailed it. Shadow of the Colossus. Artful, faithful, amazing remake. The new Dead Space remake, one of the best horror games that came out in recent memory. Not every remake, remaster, refantasio crits or even hits. Some of them, a lot of them, miss. Some are very obvious, greedy, buggy, rushed, cash grabs. If you remember, I hope you don't remember, the atrocious, accursed, God-forsaken GTA trilogy that came out. The graphics were weird, to put it mildly. The controls were clunky, to put it even milder. And all of it just felt like I should be playing it on my phone rather than on my PC. It felt like a mobile port that even the Nintendo Switch could run. But apart from remakes being rushed and buggy and not optimized and awful, the worst side to remakes is they give the developers an easy way out. It gives them a creative crutch. It gives them the illusion of actually creating something new, while at the end of the day, they are just putting makeup on a carp, and that's it. Why should studios take the risk of creating a new IP, invest so much money in developing it, for it to just bomb, when they can just take a beloved IP that's a fan favorite and just slap a new layer of paint on it? I mean, after some of the debacles in recent memory with new IPs, I can't really blame them. It's It sucks, but I kinda understand them in a very distant way. I can, which still doesn't excuse them not trying, but that's one of the reasons. A lot of innovating studios are basically just nostalgia baiting you, and if they continue doing that, that sets a dangerous precedent to the future of the whole industry, basically. And that makes you think, if no studio is chasing innovation and creativity, where is the next Hades coming from? Where is the next Hi-Fi Rush on Elden Ring coming from? Where is the next Balan Wonderworld coming from? Similar to a term called superhero fatigue that you probably heard about, we're at a point where we're getting close to remake fatigue, because every new show, screening of a new trailer and video games, you know that 50 of them are going to be remakes or remasters, and it feels like you're attending a show that's from 2004 rather than 2024. When the first remake started dropping, for example, like Shadow of the Colossus, it was very exciting. Like, for example, Resident Evil, players were very exciting for it, but when the studios saw how much money they could generate from that, it started going downhill. Probably the worst offender of this, it's Naughty Dog. Oh brother, they love their remakes, remasters. Why did they really re-release a game that came out in 2020 as a remaster or whatever it is, and we had enough of. They made 5 releases of The Last of Us from 2 games. Hot take: some games don't need a remake. Nostalgia plays a big part in our memories of video games, and sometimes it's better for it just to be left as nostalgia rather than remade into something that's maybe going to be bad or even worse than bad. So after all that yapping, are remakes going to kill the industry? Perhaps. Depends. The best answer of all time. By themselves, they're fine. If they are releasing with new IPs, new creative designs and ideas, they're fine. But if the devs start pushing and pumping out only remakes and remasters, even bad ones, a lot of bad ones, that will just result in catastrophe. Basically what I'm trying to say, gaming needs new blood. It needs new stories, it needs new characters and risks and voices. It needs that to keep up with the times and to help the industry not feel stagnant as it is now. For every Forspoken there's another Balatro. For every Golem there's another Hi-Fi Rush. And all the good designs, all the good games, they don't come from the past. They might be inspired by it, but they come from the brave, weird, bold ideas of the future. Remakes can definitely coexist with new IPs, but only coexist. They should never, under any circumstance, replace them. How can you help? How can I help? How can anyone help fix this? We should support remakes that are made with love and effort. We should demand more original content to be made. Please, the most important way is to start thinking with your wallet. Stop giving money to these greedy corporate rats that are only there to prey on your nostalgia, and stop giving them money for soulless cash grabs. You are not 12 years old anymore. Please, it's not always nostalgia. Nostalgia is powerful, but if we only rely on that, then we will never play any good video game ever again. The past, it's very dear to you, I know, but the future deserves as much love as the past does. Do you agree with me? Do you not? leave it in the comments below. And YouTube thinks that you might want to watch this video next. Thank you, see you next time. Bye!